How's it going, everyone? My name's McHugh, and I know it's pretty late and EVO has already passed, but I wanted to talk a little bit about my first time going to EVO as someone that's always wanted to go but has never went. This video is pretty much not relevant anymore, but I still wanted to get my thoughts and feelings about what it was like going to EVO in 2019 as a first-time EVO goer. I know every single year EVO has more and more newcomers, and I kind of wanted to give my first impressions on the whole event. This certainly is not the kind of video that I'll usually post, but I still wanted to say what I really thought about watching EVO for the first time going there live, as someone that's been hyped to go watch EVO for the past decade on the internet and have always wanted to go there. I really wanted to give my first impressions on what I felt was at the event. I flew into Vegas on the day that EVO officially started. I didn't think I would have too much trouble, but lo and behold, when I got there, it already seemed like Lion Con trying to get in. I definitely think the next time I go, I will definitely head there on the Thursday, get my badge before the event so I can avoid the Lion Con. The line wrapped around this area where the event was being held, and the line went all the way outside the hotel and then wrapped around back to go inside the hotel. It was trouble just to find where the line ended. While standing in line, I heard a lot of people just banter on saying like, oh, this was awful, they should definitely find and think of a better way to do this. The line waiting actually didn't take all that long. I was probably standing in line for maybe 45 minutes, which wasn't honestly that bad. I was just more excited to be there. However, there were also talks about people worried about getting in the convention floor because they were afraid that they might miss their pools because the line was so long. Some people hadn't gotten their badges yet, and people needed to compete. They had a thing where if you were in pools, the earlier pools for that day, that you were allowed to go in for something. I didn't really follow up on that. Backing up a little bit, just walking to where the area where the convention floor was, you definitely could tell that you were in fighting game territory. They had these awesome little poster stand-up things to tell you, EVO is that way. I really felt like it was almost like a homecoming for me, in a sense that this is where I was supposed to be. This is EVO. This is where my people are. It was very cool. It almost felt like a promenade or a king going through his castle town, parading and having people watch him. I don't know, something kind of like that. It felt really surreal, though. The convention floor itself was okay. It was certainly very open, and there was a sort of freedom of where you go, everywhere you turn, there's someone talking or some kind of fighting game thing going on. So in that respect, it was pretty cool. I was very surprised how actually cool it was. I never really felt like I was overheating even when I was walking around in cosplay, which was about, I wore like an extra jacket walking around. I've been to a couple of other conventions in my lifetime, and I think that this EVO could have maybe benefited more with a little bit more sectioning off in certain spots. I felt that there were certain areas where I didn't really know what was going on here until I kind of poked around and figured out where or what was being played or what booth was up there. Eventually I got my ball bearings about and figured out that, oh, this is the retro tournaments, or they were playing Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 tournament over here. They're doing pools over there. And eventually I did see the tables where pools were being held. They had tables set up where they had little pictures of like Mortal Kombat 11. So obviously that's where people were playing Mortal Kombat 11 for their pools. Near kind of the back walls of the convention floor in certain spots, you had these giant projector screens where certain players would play, where those would be live streamed onto Twitch. That was really cool. It was a very communal experience being sitting in the audience, if you will, of about maybe 100 chairs in front of this giant projector screen, and each of them kind of had a sectioned off spot. For some reason, I really was into Tekken during that entire EVO event, so I pretty much was only watching Tekken. I wandered around and watched a couple other things, but it was mostly a Tekken weekend for me. Now, one of my favorite things about going to conventions is actually the artist alleyway. To me, it's always felt like some kind of strange Middle Eastern bazaar where people were peddling their wares and you can find really cool hype stuff and just really weird stuff, but they're all really cool. This Evo had some really cool things. I was really happy to see a lot of fighting game paraphernalia. I think that's the word of just artists and their pictures and fan art of characters and stuff like that. That was really cool. I've always gone to conventions throughout my entire life. Not really a whole lot of fighting game merchandise, and to be completely honest, it's really hard to find any fighting game merchandise, so being in an area where it was all fighting game merchandise was the bee's knees. However, I felt that there was a lot of anime stuff for sale at the Artist's Alley. Now, I totally get why there would be anime stuff in the Artist's Alley. Naturally, that kind of culture and anime breeds that type of genre, so I get it. And then you have Dragon Ball Z fighters and Unist and BlazBlue and Guilty Gear, which are very anime inspired, so I understand why there would be some anime vendors. I just didn't think there would be that many anime vendors. There were a lot of My Hero Academia stuff, and this other anime that I don't know the name of. It's some robot mech anime with some pink-haired girl with red armor clothes. I saw a lot of that, and I definitely know that those were not fighting games. Sure, there's the My Hero quote-unquote arena fighter game, but I just wanted to see more fighting game art stuff. It was just kind of disappointing to not see more of that, and I could almost see all of this at another convention. Kind of made me feel that, dude, come on, we're at Evo, there should be more fighting game stuff. I even tried to find some Darkstalkers merchandise for my buddy who really likes Darkstalkers, and there was literally nothing. I understand that Darkstalkers is a weird game where people really like it, but people never bought it. It's very niche. I totally get that, but come on, again, we're at Evo. People love Capcom. Darkstalkers is a huge part of Capcom fighting game history, and there was virtually nothing. To be honest, I actually didn't go and do a whole lot of things at Evo. My main goal was to go to Evo and just be a spectator, just to watch and soak in everything that the event had to offer. They had some pretty cool things and vendors and other companies that were able to demo their upcoming games. I watched a little bit of some of these vendors presenting their games, but I never actually played it. I don't know why. I felt really weird being there, being kind of there by myself. I went there not knowing anyone. I would highly recommend going with somebody that you know, or at least plan to meet up with people online that would also like to meet you, to meet up and hang out and just to talk about some fighting games. That was probably my favorite part. Just every now and then I just hear a random conversation about someone talking about a fighting game or a character or a mechanic. It was awesome. Like I said earlier, I was only there just to watch and take in the splendor. I didn't compete. I think next time I'm going to enter a pool of some kind. Obviously, I'm not going to make it very far, but I think just having a plan to play in some kind of pools at Evo, I think that is, and it should be a huge appeal of why you should go there. Again, I just wanted to be there as a spectator. Next time, I'll definitely enter my name into the tournament. Now, I'm not really into a whole lot of esports per se. I don't even really follow esports fighting game players that much. I'm more interested in seeing this awesome franchise and genre of a game that I love and seeing it be played at the highest potential level. That I'm more interested in, and that's probably the extent of why I watch or follow quote-unquote a fighting game esports player. That being said, I passed so many famous fighting game players that it was unbelievable. I saw so many awesome commentators walk by and just interact with the community. It was really great. There was one time that I was dumping out food from the food court and I emptied out my tray and I looked up for a second. I realized that just Mango was standing right next to me. That blew my mind. I watched almost all the top 8s of all the tournaments. I missed a couple of them, but I at least stayed for almost the entire last day top 8s of grand finals. I kind of left early during the Smash Bros. One just because I honestly wasn't that interested in it, but my god, dude, going to the top 8s in the arena, that was surreal. And every spoiler or just announcement that they made on that day was hype as all hell. The crowd was going buck crazy. All in all, it was a fantastic experience, and if you truly love this genre and fighting games and just the FGC so much, then I couldn't recommend more to go to EVO at least once in your lifetime. I had a blast, even though I didn't even play any video games the entire weekend. I just watched people play it. I didn't even meet anyone or sit down and play just a random Smash Bros game or Tekken game. I just watched and I just took it all in. It was a splendor, and I highly recommend you to go to an EVO in the future. Yep, pretty standard I would imagine that an EVO would bring out. Sure, there was that not so great moments that you heard about EVO after the event happened at some of the parties. That was not cool. It really kind of put a damper at the end of the weekend reading some stories on Twitter after EVO. All in all though, it is quite the experience and you should definitely try to make it out to Las Vegas or wherever EVO will be held in the future if you can. From someone that's been watching EVO for a decade, wanting to go visit EVO and just soak it all in, being a first-timer in 2019, it still felt like a home, oddly enough. It was amazing, the community was on fire, everyone was friendly, it was just a great experience all in all. Hopefully you guys got some enjoyment. Hopefully someone that has gone to EVO a lot can sympathize or verify that this event, this crazy event is as hype as it sounds. And if you're watching and you've never gone to it, hopefully I've inspired you to go try to make plans to go to EVO one year. Hopefully. That is the goal. That's gonna be it for me. My name is McHugh and have a great day.